friends, this is day 52 of our summer series, Summer 66, and we are talking today through the book of First Thessalonians, and our theme is faith that endures, faith that goes through difficult times and comes out the other side refined and restored in Jesus Christ. I want you to imagine for a minute facing persecution and facing uncertainty about what might happen after you die. Paul writes to the Thessalonian church to encourage them to, in his words, to be steadfast, to be hopeful, and to continue to anchor themselves in holy living through Jesus Christ. Okay? So, Thessaloniki, or Thessalonica, however you want to call it, is in present day Greece. It's a vibrant city, right? Back then, it was a major trade route. It was home to a very diverse population in Asia Minor. The church was young and was under a lot of pressure. But Paul writes this letter, which ironically happens to be one of the earliest letters of the New Testament. I know when you think chronologically, you think Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but one of the earliest letters of the New Testament is actually First Thessalonians. It was written around 50 AD. The Gospels are written around 54, 56. But anyway, we're getting here off track. All right, a couple of key verses here. Paul says, rejoice, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances. I just want to pause on that one for a minute. Rejoice always, pray continually, and give thanks in all circumstances. That's a hard one to do, right? To just give thanks in all circumstances. But that's what Paul is encouraging the church in Thessalonica to do. Another verse I really like is 1 Thessalonians 3:12. It says, may the Lord make your love increase and overflow to each other. Right? Love that increases, but does what? Overflows to other people. A little bit of history here. This letter was written around 50 AD. This is Paul's, like I said earlier, this is Paul's earliest letter, and is offering pastoral care to a group of believers who are grappling with suffering and the question of when is Jesus going to return. And I'm not even going to get into that right now as to this question of when is Jesus going to return, because it covers a lot of the New Testament conversation, and there's a lot of people that focus in Revelation on that question of the end time and the return of Jesus Christ. Okay, theological depth. What is Paul saying here to the Thessalonians? He's saying he's introducing hope, and this hope is found in the resurrection of Jesus. And he's also talking about the second coming of Jesus Christ as the foundation for Christian endurance. He encourages the believers to, of course, live holy lives in light of the gospel of Jesus Christ, this gospel of hope. And he encourages love within the community and a kind of love that comes with discipline. Practical takeaway. Number one, maintain joy and pray even through hardship. That's what Paul is saying to the Thessalonians. Maintain your joy, pray through hardship. Number two, encourage and build one another up in the faith. Number three, live with an eternal perspective, always anticipating the coming of Christ. And the question, there's a beautiful passage in 1 Thessalonians 4. It says, I would not have you, the couple of different versions. It says, I will not have you uninformed, or I will not have you ignorant, brothers and sisters, concerning those who have fallen asleep. Falling asleep is death in biblical parlance. So you do not grieve as those who have no hope. So he handles, in this letter, he talks about grief, right? And if you've ever lost a loved one, you know what grief is, right? Grief is this physical, emotional feeling we go through. And grief is because we love, right? And so if you're out there today and you know someone who's grieving, here at our church, we've got Stephen Ministry. They walk with people who are going through grief. They help them cope with grief, or not just grief, but the different transitions of life. So I sort of digress here, but grief is one of the things that Paul handles in First Thessalonians. And the reason he handles this is because Christians were grieving. They didn't know what was going to happen to people after they died. So Paul writes this letter to tell them that when you die, when you close your eyes in death, you will open it again face to face with the Lamb of God who loved you and gave himself for you. So if you are today going through a circumstance where you know someone who is experiencing grief because they've lost a loved one, First Thessalonians reminds us that we do not go through life alone. There is hope, and we cling on to that hope. Is the hope that we will see God face to face and we will see our loved ones again. All right. So no matter what you're going through today, I want you to hold on to that promise. And I want you to know that God's got you.